Welcome to Doing Life with Ken and Tab. We are in my kitchen today, so I'm so happy to have you here. But listen, well, first of all, I love to bake. And often I bake for the church, I bake for the volunteers, my neighbors, but there's this one thing that I make that everyone seems to love, and that is blondies. And I'm gonna share with you that recipe today. It's really easy, and I think you'll enjoy it. Okay, so first, here's my disclaimer. I'm not like this big professional chef. I was raised by my grandma, and when she got in the kitchen, she just threw some stuff together. We didn't have measuring cups and measuring spoons. We had a coffee mug and some teaspoons, and we just threw stuff together. And so that's what you'll see me doing today. Don't be alarmed. But I'll tell you like a teaspoon, and you can use your teaspoon, but I might not. But it's all good. Anyway, okay, so blondies. These are actually gluten-free. So for any of you all who want to do gluten-free, you can. But don't be alarmed because they actually taste really good. These might be the best blondies you've ever eaten. So 3 cups of almond flour. It doesn't matter. You can get any almond flour you want, okay? This one looks like I've gotten it from Costco. It's just fabulous, never gives me any problems. 3 cups of almond flour, and then you're going to do 1 cup of regular sugar and 1 cup of brown sugar. Okay, and look, I do have my measuring cup actually. This is great. I have a measuring cup here. I'm kind of proud of myself. And when you do the brown sugar, it's always good to pack it down in the cup just to make sure you get enough in there. See that? Boom. That's all the sugar we need. Then what I like to do is add my chocolate chips as well. And listen, this is my favorite kitchen utensil. It's actually a pair of scissors. And I went years without having scissors in my kitchen, but this is like my favorite thing. I don't know why, but they just make life so much easier, okay? So it's 1.5 cups of chocolate chips. This is a 12-ounce bag. Just pour it in there. Easy peasy, y'all. There's no fear in this. And then this is baking powder. So you're gonna want, let's say 3 teaspoons of baking powder, and like I said, I'm just going to sprinkle mine in there, and I can tell about right there's 3 teaspoons of baking powder for me. And then you're going to take 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and for me, I'm just going to pinch that salt and throw it in there. It is all good, y'all. And that's our ingredients. Those are our dry ingredients. And all you want to do is mix those dry ingredients together. Now, again, I do have this fancy dancy mixer that my husband bought for me, and he's awesome, and I love it. I actually use my mixer when I make bread and when I make frosting, because you really have to whip stuff together when you're making frosting. I'll have to share my recipe with you one day because that's a really good recipe as well. But all you need is a spoon and a bowl. You don't have to buy a $300, $500, $600 mixer. Just get yourself a spoon and a bowl, child, and start mixing, okay? So we mixed up our dry ingredients, and now all I'm gonna do is start adding the wet ingredients. And there's not many, but what I've done, and I don't know if you can see this here, maybe we can zoom in. I've created a hole in the middle of my bowl. And so I just have this little well that I'm gonna start adding my dry ingredients to, or my wet ingredients to. So I've already warmed up 2 sticks of butter. And you can use organic butter, you can use whatever kind of butter you want, but I have 2 sticks of butter in there. And then you're gonna add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And again, it's not hard, y'all. I'm just eyeing 2 teaspoons of vanilla right there. And last, we're gonna add 2 eggs. Just take your eggs and throw it right on in there. This is my garbage bowl. I actually learned that from, who did I learn that from? Rachel Ray. When she does her cooking shows, she always has a garbage bowl. And I was like, this is genius. This is the best thing ever. So anyway, that's my garbage bowl. And I actually need a towel as well. So that's all it is, our wet ingredients. And then we're gonna go to mixing again. So I'm just gonna mix these things together inside of the bowl or inside of the little well. And then once I have those mixed together, I'm just going to start folding in or very gently mixing in the rest of the dry ingredients. We're not gonna add milk. We're not gonna add water. We're just gonna mix it all in like this. Now I used chocolate chips today, dark chocolate chips. Actually, these are a semi-sweet chocolate chip, but I usually use white chocolate chips if I'm giving them to like friends and coworkers and things like that, because I think it's a better recipe that way. However, my husband and my family actually likes chocolate chips over the white chocolate chips. So that's why I've done chocolate chips today. Let's see. So you just get it all mixed up there. Easy peasy. That's your mixture. And honestly, you could do anything with that mixture. You can make cookies out of this, but the easiest thing to do is spray your pan and throw it in a cake dish, and you're not wasting any time. It's easy peasy. I've been here maybe 7-8 minutes preparing this. And you're just gonna get it all in there. Try to spread it as evenly as possible. It does not have to be perfect at all. Sometimes it's the imperfections in life that make things great. And there it is. That's a blondie. We're gonna put it in the oven at 350 for about 25 minutes. And then we're gonna taste it and see how good it is. All right, so it's been about 25 minutes and I think the blondies are done. Here's a couple of tricks to figure out whether anything's done. First of all, you're going to smell it. It smells so fragrant, it's everywhere. Second of all, you wanna turn on your light, okay? It's in your oven. Don't open up the oven because then you let all the heat out and it messes with your baking, blah, blah, blah. You don't wanna do that. So you can check on it. It's golden brown everywhere, y'all. So those two things let me know that it is done, all right? So I'm just gonna take it out of the oven, turn that off. And now, before we dig in, I wish you could smell this. It's fabulous. But before we dig in, we're gonna let it sit down for at least 10 minutes. It's time to cut and taste. So you can cut this any way you want to. I kind of go around the edges first just to make sure that I get a nice clean cut and nothing stuck to the edges. But check this out. It's still hot and warm. Now, if you're an ice cream kind of person, you can scoop this into your plate and get a piece of ice cream. So if you're an ice cream person, you can add a dollop of ice cream on top and let it melt, and it would be so yummy. I'm not really a sweet person, by the way, but I do love these blondies. So I'm just gonna take a little piece for you and let you know how it is. Oh, it's delicious, guys. You can't go wrong with this recipe. You saw me just literally throw stuff in the bowl and mix it up. If I can just throw stuff in there, you can do it too. So hey, I hope you try this. Share it with your neighbors, your friends. Give it to your kids, they'll all love it. And hey, when you try it, let me know. Let me know if you liked it, let me know what you think, and maybe you can make a variation and give me some new ideas. See you next time.